Thanks for inviting me here to this online training course about ICT trends. We are always iterating to make the e-government standard framework more accessible. And today we are applying eGov Frame. So we will take a look at eGov Frame. This is our agenda for today. Today's presentation is divided into 5 parts. We will show you of the introduction of eGov Frame first. And secondly, what has changed with before and after. Then third, we'll go a little deeper and see concept and details. And most recent release version of this. And we will have some time for 4th and 5th at the end. Global partnership, center, and services. Let's get started with the presentation. eGov Frame, a standardized framework for e-government information system. It is the cornerstone upon which e-government information systems are developed since 2008. Ministry of the Interior and Safety, MOIS, with National Information Society Agency, NIA, enhances e-government service quality and efficiency with eGov Frame. eGov Frame is comprised of pre-built core functions that can be used in the development and operation of e-government information systems. Entire information systems can be developed by integrating additional functions using common components. Here is before and after. Standardized software framework reduces costs and improves productivity. By summarizing how much differences there have been so far, we were able to save costs and time and reduce redundant development. We succeeded in creating a fair competition environment for small and medium-sized businesses and in ensuring convenient maintenance environment through modularization. With this powerful and helpful framework, new decision-making is possible from every single function to common components. There is 5 parts about development, productivity, and open source, and competitiveness, and interoperability. Lastly, maintenance. There was no standard framework. We did so much work, like duplicate development of similar function in each project. But after we have reduced duplicate development costs and time by reusing common components. And in open source part also, there was nothing, just high dependency on vendors owning a particular technology. But after we have software framework, eliminate dependency by open source based standardized development. And competitiveness also, there was no software framework. There is disadvantages to small and medium-sized enterprises who cannot afford a software framework. But after we have eGov Frame, improve SME, small and medium-sized enterprises competitiveness by sharing the open source software framework free of charge. And enter priority, also the most key common important thing for us to adopt software framework. So if there was nothing, we can have this kind of significant time and manpower needed to ensure interoperability between information systems. But if we have software framework, enhance information system enter priority by utilizing the standardized module. And last part, maintenance is also important. Before we have nothing about software framework, there is high degree of maintenance difficulty due to the lack of standardized development. But after we have IGA frame, easy maintenance through the common component-based development. So this kind of framework objectives are this kind of five of things. First one is reusable function. Second, we can follow and lead ICT trends. Third one is interoperability. And fourth one is software vendor ecosystem. We can make it. And last is the quality assurance. Most important things are here for using software framework, and we have IGA frame for e-government information systems. Most of the technical issues are handled by software framework. In the past, the system had to be developed from A to G, like making everything. Important part is focus on development area, but we need to do 100% done by developers, from logging to the other handling part. But now here is a ready-made framework, IGA frame, which can provide common reusable components. The framework also provides support for database connectivity and transaction and log processing, and also authentication. IGA frame helps you to focus on your business logic to increase the productivity and quality and reducing costs and schedules. Framework-based development methods can help increase productivity and efficiency. As I mentioned before, IGA frame helps you to focus on your own part, on your unique functions of service, because it has common function and already made it. So before standardization of IGA frame, the budget was increased due to the redundancy of similar functions such as login or bulletin board. There was a lack of business opportunity for small and medium-sized company because business dependency in subsequent projects of giant companies. On the other hand, through standardization of IGA frame and the reuse of common components has maximized the efficiencies of budget reduction and increased opportunities for small and medium-sized companies. So the Korean government has introduced the concept of open innovation as a strategy for building a successful IGA frame. We went through the following 4 steps to achieve our goals. We verified and selected open sources as the first step. The first step is open sourcing. 11 large and medium-sized enterprises participated and shared their knowledge to develop IGA frame. We have defined basic function and structures. It has gone through the process of defining an open source selection policy. We have assessed 175 candidate or open sources and carried out the logical and physical tests. Finally, 48 open sources have been selected as the major open sources. The second step is open process. Over 500 opinions were collected through 20 industry sessions. A wide range of opinions and various issues were considered, and then we reflected on the opinions of the relevant parties. The third step is the open outputs, or the source code, including outputs, are provided free of charge. You can download all of the source codes at the portal site igaframe.go.kr English version. Roughly 10,000 developers have been trained so far. More than 800 projects have adopted IGA frame. Approximately 800,000 downloads have been recorded as of last month. For these reasons, we received awards in 3 categories of the Future Awards in 2010 and 1 CMMI certificate. The fourth step is open ecosystem. We have formed an open community in which large and small enterprises participation. The main purpose of open community is to encourage the developers to increase the use of IGA frame. Here is the detailed part about our open innovation of IGA frame for creating new values. In the step of first, there is open sourcing from 2008. There is 4 parts: function design, policy setting, and logical design. Finally, physical tests. Yes, so define basic functions and architecture is important from the base, start the line. So analyze framework functional requirements and design common components is started. And second part also we proven about the who is participated and selection which opinion is the needed. The second step, open process, is like this. We adopted many opinions about the IGA frame and design components, analyze framework functional requirements, and define the open source software selection policy as well. We used one of the international standard for software product evaluation and defined the open source evaluation process as well. What we chose as the evaluation process is plan, establish, collect, and analyze, PECA, defined by SEI. It helps organizations make carefully reasoned and sound product decisions. The process can be tailored by organization to fit its particular needs and is flexible enough to be used within many organizations. We selected the license with no restriction on distribution and use. This is the third step, open outputs. We open all the source code with Apache license. It can be possible with logical test and physical test. The logical test is like this. 175 open source software candidates were logically tested. On the other hand, we classified functional and non-functional requirements and checked if there are restrictions in integration and interfaces. Physical test is conducted on 85 open source software candidates, which passed the logical test. So this kind of test means hands-on test on the basic function and non-basic function requirements for software quality. Finally, we were able to select and reflect 48 open source softwares. It is international standard for software production evaluation. And second, free training provided to more than 10,000 developers and applied over 4,000 projects and over 88,000 downloads we had. And Future Gov Award also, I already mentioned. And last part is open ecosystem. So international sources of innovation could be customers, library companies, and academic institutions. So we reflected on the opinions of the relevant parties. Over 500 opinions are collected through this kind of industry session, and a wide range of opinions and various issues were considered. So there is so much kind of organization and small and medium-sized enterprises technical support as well, and we have the analysis of source code interoperability about IGA frames. There should be no problem with free use, permission for distribution, and disclosure of secondary work and commercialization, etc. So you can use this kind of strength of IGA frame. Here is concept and details. Is IGA frame mandatory for e-government services? No, it is not mandatory, but recommended, because e-government framework, IGA frame, has increased the efficiency of public service development. This is the reason and the great achievement that we recommended IGA frame. It is used to develop the major public services of the Korean government to improve the quality of the system in various fields, such as tax, finance, health, administration, automobile, and media. IGA frame is widely used as a national software framework in Korea. IGA frame is written in the legal documents like information service, promotion regulations, or e-government guidelines for the establishment of information systems. eGovFrame is not limited to a specific domain, but has been applied to a variety of domains like food, health, education, insurance, disaster, and so on. As of this year, eGovFrame application rate has hit 62%. More than 812 projects have been officially checked for application. Around 3,728 projects in total have adopted eGovFrame so far. It is based on Korean online e-procurement service. eGovFrame consists of 4 environments. Development environment is first. It's a collection of development tools, and it is composed of 4 service toolsets. It provides common runtime modules for learning the software applications. Runtime environment is a foundation of software application, and it provides the basic functionality required to learn the applications based on the eGovFrame runtime environment. It provides a set of efficient tools for developing applications. Operation environment helps you to monitor the system state based on the information collected by agent programs. It provides a set of tools to operate information systems based on eGovFrame. Last, management environment provides systematic and efficient management of improving eGovFrame, version upgrades, and service request processes. In summary, provides functions for continuous improvement and maintenance of eGovFrame. And these 48 verified open sources, including Spring Framework, have been applied to eGovFrame. We also have component updates like this. 251 common components provide common functions that are reusable. I would say these common components are like sample codes so that you can reuse and modify them. Common components are example code, so you can use and customize them. And it can tell you how to use eGovFrame. It's like a model house in the housing market. If you want to know how this house will look like, you can look at the model house. Through the model house, you can get inspiration for what kind of door or door knob or light bulb you should choose. In the same way, you can choose as many components as you want, like login, bulletin board, usage statistics, and so on. Common components are actually taken from the components that are mostly used by large companies. And here is eGovFrame and lifecycle management functions from build to operation. So there is 6 parts. You can see analyzes and design, implementation, test, and deploy, and operation. You can get this kind of step and in the runtime environment and develop environment and operation environment as well. You can do this kind of all of thing with this kind of like a cycle with IGA frame. As you can see, there have been a lot of changes in IGA frame during the past years. IGA frame version 1st was released in June 2009. It contained 219 common components via ISP. There were 5 steps of development period until version 2.5 was released in December 2012. And you can see many versions, but there is version 3.0, and in line with the increased use of mobile phones and the demand for mobile development environments, mobile upgrade versions were released in 2013. IGA frame version 3.9 includes the latest version of Apache Cordova, which make it easy to develop mobile hybrid application. And this is new version has been released at the beginning of each year. The latest version released in March this year is 3.10. And global partnership. IGA frame has been applied to 33 projects in 17 countries. This is the global propagation. IGA frame has been many MOU signed like this. You can see the map of world. Yes, and starting with Vietnam and Mexico, we have many of that. The NIA, National Information Society Agency, has been signing MOU with Vietnam, Mexico, Uyghur, Nigeria, Uzbekistan, South Africa, and Cote d'Ivoire, and Sudan, respectively, since 2012. The MOIS and NIA signed a MOU with Da Nang City in Vietnam in 2012. As a result, for the request of the Da Nang City, there were a 4-day education session for the Vietnam software developers. African Development Bank Group has a plan for IGA basic implementation program with NIA. These projects are being processed and funded by Africa DB Bank. This mission is to allocate resources for investment and provide policy advice and technical assistance to support development efforts. And here is Mexico Center. IGA frame Mexico Center branch was established in 2013. Mexico is one of the most active customers for us. NIA signed a MOU with the Sinvestov Center for Research and Advanced Studies of the National Polytechnic Institute in Mexico. We have been supporting the projects in Mexico Online since MOU was signed in 2013. They applied IGA frame to the Mexican Ministry of Health as well as Publicity. They have established an online community for IGA frame in 2014. Their lore is very similar to ours. They still ask us technical questions about IGA frames, runtime, environments. And center and services. IGA Frame Center provides well-organized technical support. IGA Frame Center has been established in 4th of November 2010. It provides consulting, training, and compatibility, verification, and conducts major upgrades and R&D improvement and technical support. This is our last slide. Thanks for bearing with me, and thank you for joining this course. If you want to know more about the information of IGA Frame, check out our website at igaframe.go.kr/ENG English version. And you can also contact us with email and center. It was a great time for me to be with government across colleagues interested in IGA Frame. Thank you so much.